episode 6. We're going to be putting in the horse now, drinking from the stream. So I'm just going to again pull up Bridge and find the horse picture that we're going to use. There we are. So again, I'm going to flip this image, rotation, flip horizontally, and we'll just do just a bit of a crop. So we've actually got a pretty decent reflection. So I'm going to try and, before I cut the horse out, but I'm going to try and keep the reflection in this one. It seems a sensible thing to do. So what we'll do to cut that out is we'll use select subject, because the horse is the subject. So use that to cut it out. So it's done a pretty good job, really, at cutting that. If we press Q, you can see the selected area is the horse. It's done a pretty good job, but it hasn't cut out the reflection. So I'm not too fussed about that yet. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just try and get that selection as well. So we'll press Q, paint it in black. I'll just feather that a little bit. Doesn't have to be too neat because it is the reflection, so I'm just gonna grab this reflection as well, because I think that'll work rather well. It's funny, I've done this picture quite a number of times now, and I never thought to get the horse reflection, so this will be something new. So although that is quite feathered, I'm just going to select, and feather it a little bit more. Feather probably 2 pixels. So let's drag that across. Just minimize that for the time being. So again, Command T or Control T on a PC, and just want to just reshape it. Don't worry about the colours or if it looks a bit odd. It's just trying to get the shape right, in conjunction with the rocks that are around and the ripples and things like that. That's about right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to separate the reflection. Because that's going to need a bit of work. So Control J or Command J just puts that reflection on its own layer, and then I'm just going to delete that from the original layer. So I've got my reflection on its own layer now. I'll call that reflection. I'll call that one horse. Put the horse above the reflection. Right. So now we've got what we need to do with the horse is we've got bits of green on it. So in the tools panel, we want to desaturate those greens. So we select the sponge tool and make sure it says desaturate up here. And we just want to get rid of this yellow for a start. So now we'll sort the feet out. So we'll just neaten them up a little bit. So just create a mask. Just get rid of anything that we don't want. What we're going to try and do is make it look like the water's rippling over the feet. So we've got the front and back feet there. Just lower the opacity a little bit, just so it looks like the water's coming over. Coming over a little bit. So this grass little area, we just might use it. Yeah, so just use the content aware and just sort of try and get rid of bits and pieces. There we go. Right, there's a big bit there. Get rid of that. Now there's a bit of an outline that I noticed around the reflection, so I'm just going to paint black and get rid of that. Now I'm just going to try something here. Just create a new layer and just call this one ripples, and then get a brush. What we want is, suppose we want this kind of dark colour. And just kind of paint in trying to keep it smooth and fluid. Just something around their feet. I say their feet, its feet. And then what we want to do is we want to just highlight it with the dodge tool. Probably lighten that up a little bit, just where it's catching. A bit more. Again, this is just a trial, it might not work. I'm just no, I need a different colour. It's not working. So that's better. That's what I want. So it just looks like the feet's disturbing the water a little bit. And the top of the ripples sort of catching the light. And then I just want to smooth that off. Sort of blur it a little bit. you can just see that the foot's just lifting the water a little bit as the water hits the hoof. Just probably add some more highlights. That's not too bad, okay. So we've got the horse in the water and we've got the reflection that we're going to have a bit of a play with. Right, first I'm going to do a puppet warp. I think first actually we'll desaturate it. So we'll go to adjustments, desaturate. So we've desaturated it. Making sure I've got the layer mask selected, I'm just using the gradient tool now to drag up from the bottom so I can fade the reflection out. Obviously it'll be stronger near where the horse is and then it would just gradually fall away. So now that's done, I'm just going to choose a look at the blending options. I've chosen soft light because it's quite a gradual, subtle blending mode. So now we can choose puppet warp. Right, I'm going to pin that there. Pin those there. Basically I just want to bring that around a little bit. There, that's better. So I'm just going to get the brush, just take away this dark sort of area. I want a feathered brush, make sure it's feathered, turn the opacity down and just paint away this hard edge. So it's just subtle. And because it's quite rough in that area, I think what I'm going to do is do a liquefy on it. So although I've still got ripple marks, I'm just going to just give it a bit of that. Yeah, it's not too bad. The only other option is to do what we did with the tower and the castle, and that's just to flip the horse and do it that way, but it is quite rough water there, so the reflection wouldn't be as vivid. So now what we need to do is this side of the horse would be in shadow because the light would be sort of hitting its back, which it is doing. It's got a nice sort of glow on that side, but this side would be quite in shadow. So I'm going to bring the ripples below the horse and apply a probably brightness contrast. Make sure it's clipped to that layer and just bring that down. That's quite nice actually. What I'm going to do as well is just because it's a little bit harsh on that side, I'm just going to do a it has to be so subtle. I need to change the colour of it, I think. Hue, no, not hue, colour balance, I believe. Just get this horse looking right, because at the minute, out of the whole picture, it was the horse I had the most trouble with. Because although I wanted it in the picture, just to give it a bit of narrative, just to give it just something different, I wanted to keep the horse in, but I was trying to get the right colour, get it to match the scene, and I had a real job doing so. I was never truly happy with it. It's not too bad, maybe because the bright light is quite harsh on that side. Probably just throws the eye a little bit. But anyway, we've got the horse in the picture, we've put ripples around its feet, and we've kept the original reflection even though it is quite faint. And we've colour shaded the horse to suit the scene in a roundabout way. Right, so that's the tower, the castle, and the horse. Join me on episode 7, where we will be putting in a wooden dock next to the outpost.